Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. 2021 has finally begun. That didn't rhyme on purpose. But like many of you, I have a lot of goals that I'd like to achieve this year, and one of those goals is to clean my room. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different today and just kind of use YouTube as a way to keep myself accountable for keeping my room clean. I have been cleaning my room just about once a week or every other week, and it gets awful just as fast. So I'm realizing that it's kind of time to do something different. Most of the reason is probably because I'm living in one bedroom when I have like an entire apartment's worth of stuff. So it's hard to know how much of the mess is because of clutter and how much is because I literally just need a place of my own. I do plan on moving out this year and getting my own place, so that'll take care of that problem. But I do know that I have a lot of clutter. And like I'm sure you've seen, Konmari is kind of a big thing right now with the whole decluttering process. And I think I'm gonna give it a try. Now, if you don't know what the Konmari method is, it's basically you're supposed to pile everything of one category into one place. So like for clothes, you just pile all of them onto your bed, make one giant mountain of clothes of every clothes item that you have from any dresser or closet so that you can see it all and see how much clothing you have. And then you go through each item one by one, asking yourself if it sparks joy or if it doesn't. And then if it doesn't, then you say goodbye, get rid of it. And then if it does, then you get to keep it. I am going to start with step 1 today, which is clothes. This ended up being bigger than I thought it would be. This thing is huge. And then it continues on to the other side, where there are more clothes. So now the secret is to go through each item and decide if I'm keeping it. I'm going to start by sorting them into 3 piles. One that I'm going to keep, one that I'm going to donate or throw away depending on its quality, and then one that I would like to sell. So let's see how much I can narrow this mountain down. So I realized that I'm sort of, I don't know, I hoard things out of guilt. So I'll be given something, or I end up getting something because somebody thought that it would look good on me or whatever, and then I keep it because I feel like I should, even though I don't like it or I don't wear it. And then even things that I bought out that I was really excited about, I have never ever worn, still have the price tags on it. And I realize it's just not something that I would actually wear in my real life. And I have to get over the guilt of like, but I didn't even wear it. Marie Kondo always says to like thank each item of clothing as you get rid of it. And sometimes if you're thanking something that you've never used, you're thanking it for the lesson of realizing that you're never going to use it. There's a few things like that in my pile. And also, I had a lot of things because I don't know if if you have this as well, but there's like, society kind of says that certain things are like staple items. And so like I had a denim skirt because apparently everyone's supposed to have a denim skirt for some reason. And like certain other things like a black blazer. I have other blazers that I like just fine. And I have a black cardigan that I wear whenever I need something like that. So I don't know why society has just convinced me that I need a denim skirt and a black blazer, because they're never things that I've ever worn. I mean, I've worn them before, but not enough that I need to keep them. So I don't know, maybe there's things in your closet that you need to really reevaluate. Also, I just went through my closet like a couple of weeks ago, and I'm kind of impressed with how much stuff I've been able to take out of there. And I feel like most of the time when I go through my closet, I have the sort of KonMari method in my head of like, oh, I'll just kind of, scan through the clothes on the rack and see, oh, do these spark joy? But it's not until you have to pick them up off of the bed that you really like evaluate it for some reason. I don't know. At least maybe that's just for me. But you gotta like go all out and do the whole method. You can't just like think, oh, I'm just gonna look for things to get rid of. You gotta like, because I pulled things out of there that I didn't even realize I had because somehow they just got lost. Alright, break time's over. I gotta get back to this stack. I just finished. I am so glad that's done, but let me show you what I ended up with. Those 3 bags are stuff to sell. That bag is stuff to donate. And that's about 12 million hangers that I don't use anymore. Those were all full. And then I've got a bunch of like empty space in some of my drawers now, where it's like I have room for all new clothes if I want some. Not that I'm gonna buy more, but... So that concludes step 1 of the KonMari method. I'm done with clothes. Next up is books. But that will have to be another day. Today I'm gonna be trying step 2 in the KonMari method, which is books. So I will show you what my bookshelf looks like right now. Now I really enjoy reading, and a lot of my books I just find joy in, and I don't necessarily think that in order to have a clean house you have to get rid of all your books. But I do think that there are probably some books that I have that I keep out of guilt because they were given to me, and I don't need to be holding on to books for that reason, or anything really. So I'm gonna just go through my books and see what I've got. Here is the shelf with none of the books on it, just all the other crap that I probably also should go through. And here are all my books. All million of them. I know the pile doesn't actually look that big, but in such a small room with an entire apartment's worth of stuff in this room, any space I can get on the bookshelf is gonna be helpful, because look at all of the like sewing stuff and just more sewing stuff, and every single one of my surfaces is covered in things, and I would love to just have a normal looking room and not piles of things on other things. Now I have a pile of books that I've kind of sort of separated from books that I'm not keeping and books that I'm keeping. It's just so confusing. There's so many series and stuff that I don't know that piling it on my bed is gonna really work. So I think I'm gonna have to empty my bookshelf and then start filling it back up again. Alright, I'm starting to put books back on the shelf. I've got all my fantasy series in a nice little row together, with some board games and things behind them, since I don't access those quite as often. I figure it's a good use of that space. However, in getting ready to load this next shelf full of books, I have noticed that the little thingy is broken, and this thing is just going to fall. So that's a dilemma. So I've decided, in the spirit of laziness, that rather than buy an entire new bookshelf and or redneck fix this one with a nail, I'm just gonna put books on it and try to load them all in the back and keep the light ones in the front, and then probably there just won't be a problem. Officially done with my bookshelf. I will show you what it looks like now. I showed you that shelf, and now I move up to there. I have enough room for 2 rows of books, and I just kept that side empty and all of the weight on that side so that it doesn't break. But look at all the room that I have. And then I've got my sort of self-help books and things like that. And then I've got all my plays, along with my movies that I knew I wanted to keep all of those. I scanned through them all. And then I've got my classics, my Jane Austen, Victor Hugo, Charles Dickens. And then I've got my cookbooks. And then a whole bunch of empty space. And then here we have all of the books that I'm getting rid of. Books that are in the box are going to my mom because she really likes those style of books. And then the rest of them I'm just going to find people to give them to, or donate them, or sell them, or whatever. Turns out this was also in my bookshelf. Literally so excited to make princess cakes now. Too bad I just started my diet. Today is January 19th. It's my day off, and I'm finally going to tackle step 3 of the Konmari method, which is paper. Alright, there's all the extent of the paper I have to go through. So that looks like it's going to be sort of an easier task. Some of it is already filed. I've got my file folder stuff here. This is the stuff that I use for current files, and then after I don't need it anymore, it goes into the box. And that's all the unfiled paperwork that I have. And then I've got this bag full of stuff that I think is stuff that I had meant to burn or shred, but I have to double check on that. So because most of this paperwork has like private information on it, I'm not going to show the process of me sorting it, but my plan for that, I'll just explain, is I'm going to have a pile for trash, a pile for stuff to burn, and then a pile of stuff to file. And then once I have that all narrowed down, then I'll just file whatever I have left. So today I'm going to be attempting to do part 4 of the Konmari method. Now, the thing about step 4 is that it's miscellaneous, which means basically every single thing that I haven't already done except for sentimental items. That's a lot of things. So to make it easier on myself, I split it up into 4 categories of the things that I know that there's a lot of, like the most daunting tasks. So the first one is beauty supplies. The second one is accessories. The third one is crafts. And the fourth one is food. So I'm just going to go through and tackle each one just one by one and see how far through this list I can get. And then when I get to a point where that's done, I think it'll be easier for me to see what I have left. So to start off, I'm just going to make my bed, give myself a nice easy surface to work on. And then I guess I'll try to tackle the beauty supplies first. Just look at all of that stuff. I don't even think I use more than 25% of this. Oh my goodness. I'm noticing I have so many things in bins and tubs and drawers that I just don't even know where to start. So I think I'm just going to dump them all out and start over with empty drawers. So there's what it all looks like out of the tubs. And I think my first thing is just going to be going through one by one, deciding if I'm keeping it or not, because I feel like that's going to narrow it down quite a bit. Because there's just so many things and so many categories of things that I'm a little just intimidated by the thought of like deciding where it goes yet. Which that's kind of how I've been doing everything else, is just deciding if I'm keeping it or not, and then putting it away as I go. But I think it's going to have to be just either trash or not trash for this one, and then narrow it down from there. is all the trash I'm getting rid of. I was able to empty out both of those. I also was able to empty out 4 drawers that I had used before. So with beauty supplies done, the next step is accessories. Alright. There's all of my jewelry and hair accessories. I have a feeling that a lot of the jewelry is going to become actually sentimental items, so if I come to some of those, I will have to set them aside, because sentimental items is the last category in the list. That's step 5, so I will just do the non-sentimental items. Alright, so we've got everything roughly organized from things I'm getting rid of into the types of jewelry. Like I've got rings, earrings, bracelets, necklaces that I'm keeping, a bunch of empty boxes that I could use to sort things, my sentimental items, and then I've got this jewelry box that I can start to now put things in. All finished with the jewelry and the hair accessories. These are all empty storage containers or, anything that I might use to organize things in other parts of my room that I no longer need for my jewelry. All of my jewelry now fits in this one nifty little jewelry box. You'll notice it's all nice and organized. And then I've got my little drawers with bigger things and stuff that I use less often. And I got to get rid of the jewelry box that was on the wall, so that's nice, except for now I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to hang there, because it looks stupid with 2 nails coming out. So next up on my list is my craft stuff, and I already know that the majority of it's going to be sewing, and so I'm going to save that for last and go through everything else first, because I don't think my bed would have room for everything. So I'm realizing as I've pulled all of this out that there's probably twice this much underneath my bed, and I'm not going to have room for all of it, so I'm going to have to break the rules a little bit and just do this so that I'm not overwhelmed and then do the other part. Room update. So I kind of just stopped filming when I got to my craft supplies. I got partway through it and then I realized there was just so much stuff to sort through that it was overwhelming to think about filming everything and also figuring out what to do with everything. So I decided that I would just put the camera down and just clean things. It took me several days of hours of work. I do have a bit more to do today, but it should be completely done today. I will show you what I have left. I have a bit to go through on my dresser, just a few knickknacks that need cleaned up and organized. I have a bit of filing to do. I've got some boxes of stuff to go through. And some clothes to put away. And then I got these 2 bins at Walmart today that I can put some stuff under my bed. And then I'm done. So here I go. it's finally done. Here's the before and after. I am so relieved to have this done. It has been hanging over my head for years now, and every single time I try to clean it, I get to a certain point and then give up. So yeah, if you were just needing some encouragement or some inspiration for maybe cleaning your house or your room or whatever it may be, just know that you're not alone and that it's not easy for everybody. As you could probably see from the filth that accumulated while my room went to crap. But yeah, I hope you liked my video, leave a comment, and subscribe.